It is Thursday, June 25th, 2026, and this is the Neural Daily. I'm Alyssa Montgomery, and I'm here to make sure the math actually adds up.
This is Leonard Cooper.
I'm Roxy Stone.
And I'm Vector Kane. We have a great show for you today.
Yesterday, we walked through GPT-5 solving medical mysteries and those new budget glasses from Meta. Today's docket is just as packed. OpenAI finally revealed their own custom chip. The semiconductor market just hit $1 trillion milestone, and we've got humanoid robots going public. Basically, the chip wars just entered a whole new gear. According to Forbes, global semiconductor sales officially crossed $1 trillion for the first time. I mean, $1 trillion. That's just wild.
It's wild that we're still acting surprised that the world runs on sand, Leonard.
Okay, fair. But the real news is OpenAI. They finally pulled the curtain back on Jalapeño. It's their first in-house intelligence processor, built with Broadcom.
Literally a game changer. They're moving toward full vertical integration, right? They aren't just renting GPUs anymore. They're designing the actual architecture for inference.
Oh, well, if I may, it's technically an ASIC, an application-specific integrated circuit. It's not meant for training, which is where NVIDIA still reigns, but it's optimized specifically for running models like GPT 5.3.
Jalapeño. What a little spicy name for a piece of silicon. Did they pick it because it's hot? Or because it's just a little bit of a joke?
Here's the deal. They did a 9-month tape-out cycle. That's record-breaking speed for this kind of hardware. Broadcom handled the silicon. OpenAI did the architecture.
And they're using HBM4 stacks. Like, the memory bandwidth on this thing is supposed to be a substantial leap over the current generation. It's all about removing the bottleneck, you know?
I suppose it is, but we're also seeing the first signs of infrastructure fatigue. Cerebrae Systems just saw a sharp sell-off because investors are worried about margins.
Imagine spending billions on a chip and then realizing nobody knows how to actually make a profit with the software. Classic.
And it's getting political. Washington is pushing the Match Act to tighten export controls on China, which is making the folks at ASML in Europe very nervous.
Speaking of nervous, let's talk about the people actually paying for these tokens. Because the honeymoon phase of experimenting with AI is officially over. We've hit the era of the AI bill shock.
Right. The token shock of 2026. I've been talking about the rent versus own divide for months. Companies just realized that scaling a bot to 10,000 employees isn't just a flat fee. It's a financial black hole.
Exactly, which is why OpenAI just pivoted to becoming a vendor of control. They launched a new global admin console for ChatGPT Enterprise. Now, CFOs can actually see who is burning through the budget.
I mean, it's about time. I can't imagine a corporate accountant seeing a bill for 5 million tokens and just saying, sure, that seems right.
Actually, the new system allows for hard caps on workspace spending. You can set a limit for the team, but then give a top-up to the power users, like the elite devs who actually need the capacity.
See? That's just smart optimization. It treats tokens like a utility, like electricity. You don't just leave the lights on in every room of the building, right?
No, honey. Vector thinks everything is an optimization problem. But the real story is Samsung. They're rolling out ChatGPT and Codex to employees worldwide.
Wait, Samsung? The people who spent a year fighting with OpenAI over data leaks? Now they're just giving it to everyone?
Well, it's a rational hedge. They're integrating it into their workflow because the cost of not using it is now higher than the risk of a data leak. It's a pragmatic shift.
Or they just gave up. Either way, the CFOs are finally getting a dashboard so they can stop the bleeding.
Now, if we're talking about bleeding, let's look at the government, because the governance gap just became a punchline. Rep. Anna Paulina Luna's office posted an amendment summary to a congressional website.
And it had the Claude prefix, right? Claude responded.
Exactly. The staff just copy-pasted the summary directly from Anthropic's AI without deleting the bot's intro. It's the most I'm not a robot mistake in history.
It's just embarrassing. The people writing the laws about AI are using AI to summarize the laws they're writing. It's a loop of pure incompetence.
If I may, Rep. Luna actually defended it. She claimed most congressional staff use AI for summaries and editing. It's becoming a standard, albeit unofficial, part of the legislative process.
But that's just efficiency. Why spend 4 hours summarizing a bill when a model can do it in 4 seconds? It's a massive velocity win.
Until the model hallucinates a clause that accidentally legalizes pirate radio in the middle of the ocean. Which actually Leonard would probably love.
Hey, don't knock the pirate vibe. But the real scary stuff is the Five Eyes Alliance. The US, UK, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand just issued a joint warning.
Right. They're saying AI-enabled cyber capabilities are evolving faster than the industry expected. They predict disruptive attacks will overwhelm government defenses within months, not years.
Is that a hyperbole, or are we actually talking about a systemic collapse of current encryption?
The Five Eyes don't usually do hyperbole, Vector. They're talking about AI-powered phishing and automated exploit discovery. The Evil Tokens Group is already ramping up attacks by over 100%.
Basically, the hackers are operating like a tech startup now. They've got the agile methodology, the scaling, and the AI tools to automate the grind. It's a nightmare.
It really is a technical necessity to move toward AI-driven patching, as we discussed yesterday. Human beings just can't keep up with the speed of an automated exploit.
Speaking of speed, can we talk about Figma Config 2026? Because they are literally collapsing the wall between design and code. I saw the demo for code layers, and my mind is blown.
Oh, here we go. Vector's in evangelist mode. What's the actual play here?
Okay, so you can now convert any design layer into interactive React code with one click. You can clone a GitHub repo directly onto the Figma canvas, edit it with an AI chat, and sync it back.
It's a very aggressive move to absorb the front-end engineering workflow. By keeping the source of truth on the canvas, they're trying to prevent teams from switching to pure code agents like Cursor.
So you're telling me the designer is now the developer? I remember when you just had to figure out how to make a GIF loop. Now they're syncing repos?
It's just another way to make entry-level designers feel like they're engineers, while the actual engineers get poached by Google and OpenAI in a massive talent war.
Right. The engineering profession isn't being erased, it's being stretched. Senior talent is more valuable than ever because they're the only ones who can actually debug the AI-generated slop.
And Meta isn't sitting still. They just launched an AI command center for creators to stop them from jumping ship to TikTok. It's basically a dedicated AI companion app for Facebook creators.
Because nothing says creative freedom like a Meta-branded AI telling you how to get more views. Just wonderful.
Hey, before we move on, a quick note from our sponsor. This show isn't magic, it's engineering. Eric built our entire stack, from research agents to vocal synthesizers, which requires massive compute. To keep us online, please like, subscribe, and sign up for a free Patreon trial at patreon.com/neural network media today. Your support makes this possible. Now, back to the future.
Which brings us to the actual physical world. because AI is finally breaking the fourth wall. The lead story here is Agility Robotics. They're going public via a SPAC merger with Churchill Capital, valuing the company at $2.5 billion.
Wait, a humanoid robot company is actually hitting the stock market? I'm buying in. I want a robot that can bring me a beer and not complain about the alimony payments.
You'll be lucky if it doesn't just trip over your rug, Leonard. But they're trading under the ticker AGLT. This is the first pure-play humanoid company with actual commercial deployments.
And the digit V5 is insane. It can lift 50 pounds. That's a 40% jump from V4. And it runs for 22 hours on a single charge. It's not a prototype. It's a worker.
Exactly. They've logged over 65,000 operating hours in real facilities. Amazon, Toyota, and GXO Logistics have already placed $300 million in orders.
Now that's what I'm talking about. Real hardware, not just a chatbot that tells me it's sorry for the confusion.
I'm just waiting for the first video of a Digit V5 accidentally throwing a package through a window. That'll be the real commercial traction.
But look at the safety side. NVIDIA just announced Halos for Robotics. It's a full-stack safety system that Agility's implementing so the robots can work alongside humans without safety cages.
It's a necessary evolution. If you're going to have a 7-foot-tall machine move in 50-pound boxes in a warehouse, you can't have it operating on a best-effort logic. It needs a deterministic safety layer.
Speaking of layers, what's this about data centers in space? I saw a headline about orbital supercomputers. Tell me we're not actually doing this.
We are. The idea is to bypass Earth's power and cooling limits in space. In space, you've got natural cooling and potential for massive solar arrays without the atmospheric interference.
Great. Now we can have the AI hallucinate while it's orbiting the planet. Just what the world needed. More latency from the stratosphere.
Well, the technical hurdles are significant. Networking is the make or break factor. We've fixed a lot of the routing issues on land, but orbital data centers reintroduce the challenge of signal decay and cosmic radiation.
I can see it now. Your AI assistant is currently experiencing a solar flare. Please try again in 10 minutes.
It's about the long-term ROI, though. If you can move the heaviest compute loads off planet, you free up the grid for everything else. It's the ultimate optimization.
And finally, for the people who aren't living in space, we have the Google Home Gemini migration. It's a permanent opt-in upgrade. The speaker now has multimodal reasoning and improved face recognition.
Finally. Maybe now it'll understand that when I say play some music, I don't mean a podcast about the history of the toaster.
I'm actually a bit disturbed by it. The system uses auxiliary data, like what clothes you're wearing, to identify different family members. It's a very creepy use of visual data.
Welcome to the future, Alyssa. Your toaster knows you're wearing pajamas, and your speaker knows you're eating cereal in your underwear. It's a digital panopticon, but at least the shopping list is accurate.
I think it's a huge utility win. Multi-step reasoning for daily tasks is the real goal. Now it's time for Beyond the Token, our Thursday segment where we dive into the non-LLM models and the weird technical architecture shifts. And boy, do we have some weird stuff today.
We really do. Let's start with Kria 2. They just released the open weights on Hugging Face. It's a 12 billion parameter single-stream multimodal diffusion transformer. A DIT for those following along.
Wait, a DIT? Is that like a tiny version of a transformer, or did they just run out of letters?
This is a DIT. Rather than previous U architectures, both word plus picture bits are mapped together. Three-dimensional axis-based rotation coding, ROPE, manages large-scale layout links.
And the crazy part is the trajectory distribution matching. They're using flow matching to replace the traditional samplers. Instead of a curved path in latent space, it's a straight line. That's how the turbo variant hits 2K resolution in just 8 steps.
8 steps? I can't even get my coffee machine to brew in 8 steps. Is the quality actually any good, or is it just fast slop?
Actually, they have a train on raw, run on turbo paradigm. You train your LoRa's on the high-fidelity raw weights and apply them to the turbo weights with zero stylistic degradation. It's quite an elegant solution to the distillation problem.
Okay, but I'm seeing something about a VAE controversy. What's the deal with that? Did the images start looking like melted wax?
A little bit. Some community testers are saying the VAE, the variational autoencoder, is causing some weird artifacts in the fine details. But the raw power of the 12B backbone is still impressive.
Slightly melted wax is basically the aesthetic for 2026 anyway.
Moving on to video, we have WAN Streamer V0.1 from Alibaba. This is a native streaming end-to-end multimodal model. It uses a causal diffusion transformer with block causal attention.
Here we go. More alphabet soup. Explain it like I'm a guy who still uses a Laserdisc player.
Right. So most video models process frames in a big batch. WAN Streamer interleaves visual, audio, and text tokens in a single sequence. It's like a constant stream of consciousness for the AI. The latency's around 200 milliseconds on the model side.
200 milliseconds? That's almost real time. Are we just going to have AI-generated Zoom calls now? Because I would pay a lot of money to have a bot attend my meetings for me.
It's actually possible. They're using a causal RCM, a residual consistency model, which uses a teacher forcing and self-forcing distillation framework. It prevents the chattering and drift you usually see in autoregressive video.
Chattering? What does that even mean? Is the video just shaking?
Sort of. It's when the motor loses the thread of the motion and the pixels start to vibrate. The causal RCM fixes that by providing an on-policy refinement signal. Plus, the 1.3B model only needs 8 gigabytes of VRAM. You can run this on an RTX 4060.
Great. Now, every teenager in the world can generate hyper-realistic deepfakes of their principal in real time. I love the direction we're heading.
Then we have Custom X. This is a huge structural shift. They're decoupling identity from the environment. In a standard model like Sora, the character and the background are entangled. If the lighting changes, the character's face might morph.
Exactly. Custom X uses a component-wide latent diffusion model. It separates the latent representation into 3 streams: identity voxels, trajectory tokens, and scene latents.
Voxels? Like Minecraft? We're back to blocks?
In a way, yes. They use joint sparse autoencoders, SAEs, as high-dimensional filters. These SAEs isolate specific features, like hair texture, so they don't bleed into the camera pan speed. It's a 38 billion parameter model.
38 billion? I wonder how many H200s they burned through to get that. I bet the cooling bill for that training run could have funded a small country.
It was 1.5 million GPU hours, but the result is a world model where the character actually stays the same person across different scenes. No more morphing faces every time the character turns around.
Now that's actually useful. I'm tired of AI videos looking like a fever dream from a bad trip in the 70s.
Finally, we have Quen Agent World 35B. This isn't just a chatbot. It's a native language world model. It predicts the next environment state, like what a web browser or an Android OS will do, rather than just predicting the next word in a sentence.
This is the holy grail. It's a mixture of experts model with a gated DeltaNet layout. It's trained on 10 million real interaction trajectories. It's literally simulating a world inside the weights.
A simulation of a world, because the real one is just too messy, right? Does it actually work, or does it just pretend to know how a mouse click works?
It's surprisingly accurate. On the Agent World bench, the larger version actually outperformed GPT 5.4 in simulation accuracy. But it's a VRAM hog. You need at least 70 gigabytes for a 4-bit quantized run with full context.
Geez, 70 gigs? I'll stick to my analog cameras and my Bulldog. At least Atari doesn't need a GPU cluster to bark at the mailman.
That's beyond the token for this week. The shift from tokens to spatio-temporal reasoning is officially here.
That does it for us today. We've seen OpenAI build their own brain chips and humanoid robots finally hitting the stock market. Stay wired, folks.
Bye.
Later.
Peace out.
Keep your circuits